Hey everybody, I'm Jacob Castro and welcome to another video here on Jacob's Aquarium. So today I installed a new pump. I needed one because I was using 3 smaller pumps before on this big pond and they did not put out a lot of water flow. Even though they are marketed as 1,000 gallon per hour pumps, they just did not cut it. The pumps I'm talking about are the Active Aqua 1,000 gallon per hour pumps. You can find them everywhere. They're sold at hydroponic stores, on Amazon, all over the internet. And I used them for the longest time, but you know, after you hook up some PVC to them, and you know, even if it's like 4 or 5 feet of PVC, they lose like 50% of their head pressure. It's like I could not get good performance out of them, and I was frustrated with that for the longest time because, you know, when there's not a lot of water going into the pond, there's not a lot of flow, there's not a lot of water being pushed in here and into the filtration system, the pond can get dirty very, very quickly. And that made a lot of work for me. I was constantly siphoning out dirt and debris that would just accumulate at the bottom of the pond, and it was irritating. And so I wanted something that put out a lot of flow and would put more water through the filter sock and just keep the pond clean. And I held off for a while buying a new pump just because they're so expensive. Like pumps that average 4,000, 5,000, even 6,000 gallons per hour, they cost upwards of, you know, $400 to $500, and I didn't want to spend that much on a pump, you know. But after I did some research, I looked and looked all over the internet. I finally found one that was affordable and was rated at a GPH that was just perfect for the pond. So I found this pump. This is the Jabo DCP 15,000. It cost me $140 on Amazon, and I got it delivered in 1 day. I got it primed to my house, which, you know, I'm going to explain this later in the video, but I highly recommend that you buy this on Amazon versus anywhere else, just because if anything's wrong with it, you can return it very, very easily. Just of course, make sure you're buying it through Prime. But like I said, we're going to talk about quality and mixed reviews and stuff about this pump later in the video. But for now, I wanted to just explain to you guys how I set it up. So the pump is in my sump filter. As you can see, I'm using it as a submersible pump. You can use this pump as an inline pump if you'd like to, but I chose to use it as a submersible pump. Using it inline wouldn't really benefit me at all. It's a very basic, simple setup that I have going on here. So I used 1.5 inch PVC. I connected that to the pump with the included fittings, which that's what you have to use to connect PVC to this pump. The inlet and outlet threads are way too big. I don't even think a 2-inch fitting could fit on the inlet and outlet. So you have to use the included fittings and attach a 1.5 inch coupler, and then use 1.5 inch PVC after that. So that's what I did, and I put a union fitting right there, so I can take the pump off and maintain it very, very easily. Or do maintenance, you know. And I put a ball valve as well, so I can cut the water flow whenever I need to service anything in the sump filter. Being that it's 1.5 inch PVC, it will back siphon a ton of water very quickly out of the pond, so a ball valve is necessary. And I also put a ball valve on my inlet as well, coming into the sump filter, which also makes things a lot easier. So the plumbing goes into the ground and goes back up into the pond right here, and then I have it going over here to the corner of the pond, then underneath the pond baskets, and then out right there. And as you can see, it blows water all throughout the pond, and it's creating very, very good water flow. I mean, take a look at this Lowigia right here. It's just totally dancing in the water flow. And you can also see that the pond looks relatively clean, which is amazing. Like, you can see that there's no real stuff caked on to any of the leaves on the plants. Water flow is just amazing now, and you can also see that the clarity of the water is just pristine. I'm really liking the way the pond looks. It's like crystal clear. You can see all the way down through the bottom. So this new pump is definitely keeping the pond clean, because it's just putting so much water through the system and creating such amazing water movement through the pond. I also am using my old Active Aqua 1,000 gallon pumps. I have 2 of them right there for additional water flow, but even just relying on the Jabo pump for water flow would be enough, but I chose to use my my Active Aqua pumps as circulation pumps, because why not? You know, I have them, and you can never have too much water flow in a system like this, just because you know, the more the better, because it stays clean a lot longer. So yeah, that's basically how the pump is plumbed. And because there's a filters, or because there's a plastic screen on here, and the gaps between the little plastic bars on the screen are kind of big, I had to take out all the guppies from the sun filter so they didn't get sucked up into there, and I put them in the big pond, so now they live in basically a mansion. So basically the sump filter now consists of just the pump, Micron sock, and my auto top off system that I made. And this whole system works very, very well to keep this pond extremely clean. And I'm so happy that I finally found a pump that was powerful enough, and it's just one pump. The system looks so clean versus the 3 pumps that I had right here with all that PVC all over the place. It's a great setup, and it's working very, very well so far. Another thing that I like about this pump is it comes with a control box. You can use this to turn the water flow up or down, and you can even put the pump in a feed mode, which is kind of suited more for people that use this with aquariums, you know, where you want to cut down the water flow, so while you're feeding your fish, the food doesn't get sucked into your filtration system that easily, because there's not a lot of water flow going back into the aquarium. But as for me, I probably will never use that. But I actually did have to turn down the water flow just a little bit, because it was putting out so much flow that my 2-inch overflow really couldn't handle all the water that was going through it. So I turned it down about 20%, and it's the overflow is handling the amount of water that's coming into the pond very well now. There seems to be no issues, and it's sucking up like every little particle that gets pushed towards the overflow. So the pond is staying very, very clean. Yeah, the sand in all the bins may have some caked on dirt and stuff, but that's really unavoidable. That's just regular maintenance, you know. But as far as keeping all the loose stuff off the leaves, and you know, keeping just the general pond clean, it's doing such a great job. I couldn't be happier with this pump. All right, now to talk about some of the negative things about this pump. And first and foremost, I just want to say this really quick, just because some people on my previous product review videos have said some things that that really kind of irritated me, because they're completely not true. Guys, I don't get paid to make product reviews. The only thing that I get from the companies that send me these products is the product itself. I don't get paid to make these product reviews, other than the YouTube monetization that everybody does on YouTube now. You know, I don't get any money from the companies, you know, that send me this stuff. So I can say whatever I want, and I'm not going to ever accept anything from a company and be restricted to only saying good things about the product, because if there's anything wrong with it, well, and you guys go and buy it, you guys are going to get mad at me, because you're going to be like, well, why did you say this was the greatest thing ever, and now look, it broke in like 2 weeks, you know? Why would I do that? You know, that would be so stupid, you know? So I don't accept money from companies to say good things about their products. I don't accept bribes, in other words, you know. Whenever a company sends me a product, both parties, me and the company, are under the impression that I can say whatever I want. I'm giving you an honest review, and I get to keep the product at the end of the review once the video is uploaded. That is it. They don't pay me or anything like that. On my previous video about the fluval canister filter, a few, because these people there's not a lot of them on the internet. You know, most of the people that watch my videos are positive, happy, very nice, welcoming people. But there are a select few people out there that are just, you know, they find anything, any little thing to make drama about, you know. And that's what they were saying. They were saying that I got paid for this video and everything. No. I truly believe that that canister filter was the greatest one that I've ever used, and I love it still to this day. It's working great on my AJ75P at home. I couldn't be happier with it, and I believe it's made very well. All of my opinions were my opinions in the video, you know. So that's basically it. I don't know what more to say, but no, I don't get paid to make product reviews. I actually wish I did. I wish I was compensated, you know, with money to make these videos, because at the end of the day, I am promoting the product. I am getting the word out there using my platform that I've built over a long time and worked really, really hard for. But these companies, they don't pay people. You know, I'm sure they pay the bigger YouTubers that have millions of subscribers, but they don't pay little guys like me, you know? So I don't get paid. I give my honest opinion. I make an honest review. Everything I say is my own opinion. If you choose to believe my opinion, great. If you choose not to, great. It's freedom of choice. That's what we have, you know. So that's basically it. All right, so on to the negative things about this filter. So I know that you guys probably, if you know the Jabo brand, you're probably thinking, oh no, you know, made in China, it's only $140, so it's cheap. Ooh, that doesn't look good, you know. Well, you're partially right. This pump does have a lot of mixed reviews on the internet, but in general, they're mostly positive. But people have said that the pump has failed after 5, 6, 7 months. Some people have said that things go wrong with the impeller, the pump becomes very loud. You know, I've really just came to the conclusion that these were isolated incidents, and maybe, you know, in the beginning when this pump was first manufactured, it was just a bad batch from the manufacturer that was being sold. Because a lot of the reviews I've seen that are recent, they're relatively positive. So I'm really hoping really hoping that this pump lasts and I don't have any issues with it, because it would really suck for something to go wrong with it after the Amazon return period, because then I'm basically, that's it. Like, you know, I can't really get any compensation or refund or anything. And also, as far as what I've read, based on other people's experiences, Jabo's customer service isn't the greatest. People have emailed them and tried to call them because of issues they've had with their products, and they really haven't responded. That's just what I've read in the Amazon reviews. I'm not saying that the company's horrible or anything, but that's just what I've seen. So I don't have a lot of hope that if anything goes wrong with this pump past the Amazon return period, that I'll be able to get any help with that. But I can always try, I guess, you know. But, you know, guys, that's the thing with Jabo products. And I know a lot about Jabo products because I used them for years. When I worked at a really large aquarium fish store a long time ago, I'm sure, you know, my longtime viewers remember all those videos. I used like nothing but Jabo products on our customers' tanks and our display tanks, and like we sold tons of Jabo stuff. And, you know, I guess my impression of Jabo stuff is that it's kind of hit and miss, you know, like their stuff isn't really made out of the best materials. Like especially some of the UV sterilizers, the plastic they're made out of is very thin. So they're not made out of the best materials, but for the most part, from what I've experienced, you know, they do their job very well, and they last a pretty long time. You know, I think we had one Jabo filter on one of our display tanks that my boss set up like when the store opened, and it was still running really, really well, and the store's been there for quite a long time. Their stuff isn't made out of the best materials, but like I said, they seem to last as far as what I've experienced, and they seem to do their job very, very well. And at the end of the day, they're so much more affordable than everything else. You know, like I said, pumps that are the same or a comparable pump to the one that I have from Jabo would be $500–600. And like I said, this Jabo pump only costs $140, which is a steal for what you're getting. You know, I mean, you're getting a control box, you know, which is basically a little computer, and you're getting a very large pump that puts out tons of flow. So I mean, it's an awesome deal. I just hope the pump lasts. But so far I'm really happy with everything, and I think my new filtration system just looks so clean and organized, and it's powerful, and it's doing its job very well. So as far as my review of the Jaybo DCP 15000, I would probably give it 4 out of 5 stars right now, just because I can't speak to its longevity. But I'll definitely make a new video in a little bit of time, you know, as time goes by, to update you guys on how this pump is doing. And if anything goes wrong with it, which I hope nothing goes wrong with it, I will also make a video about that. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, if you're in the market for aquarium plants, visit jacobsaquarium.com, where I sell almost 100 different species of aquatic plants, all at the most affordable price on the internet. And also don't forget to check me out on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All my social media links will be in the description below. I love you. Excuse me. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have fun with your tanks, and I'll see you next time.